What's up guys, this is Katie Cloudy and this is my newest phone, my current daily driver, the Redmi Note 7 Pro, which I switched or upgraded from the old OG Pixel. Now of course, when a lot of you got to know about this purchase, the question arises that why the hell did I essentially downgrade from a flagship level Google Pixel to something like a $250 Redmi Note 7 Pro. So in this video I'll be breaking down and cover the things which makes this phone, the Redmi Note 7 Pro, a worthy upgrade from the 2.5-year-old Google Pixel. Let's get started. So reason number one, battery life. So if you have been subscribed to the channel for long, you might remember I made a rant video on the Google Pixel stating that the battery life has essentially gone to crap, giving me about 2.5 hours of screen on time, which is terrible. So now that I'm moving to college and a hostel, I really needed a really reliable and long-lasting smartphone which wouldn't break my bank. So the Redmi Note 7 was a clear choice. Now I've been using this phone for a couple of days and I've been easily getting 6-7 hours of screen on time and ending the days with 35-40% of battery left. It's that good, which is to be expected because this thing has a 4000 mAh battery, which is kind of the norm these days, but this, compared to this one, it had a 2900 mAh battery, which is like in iPhone territory. So for an Android phone, this is excellent. Even the standby times are excellent, and it even has fast charging, although it doesn't come with a fast charger in the box. Not a big deal, I can charge it really quick. So yeah, really happy with the battery life. So reason number two, hardware. So let's face it, the Pixel lineup has never been the front runner of cutting edge, bleeding edge hardware or display tech. They're always a little behind, and whenever they do catch up, they don't really pull it off that good. So this Pixel from 2016, as you can see, has really huge bezels, a metal body which is nice, but then you look at this Redmi Note 7 Pro with all its bezel-less glory, this glass back, although the sides are plastic, it's not that big of a deal. The glass reminiscent of the old Honor designs, Huawei designs, and the dual camera and everything. Of course, the red of course looks really nice, and on the front we have a 6.3-inch LCD display with a teardrop notch. And also, this is my first time ever using a notched phone, which isn't bad. Like, I never noticed the notch in my daily use, which is to be expected since it's a teardrop notch, not like a Pixel 3 XL bar-top notch or even an iPhone 10 style notch. So yeah, hardware is definitely excellent. Reason number three, developer support. So one thing I really missed from switching from the old Nexus 5 to this Pixel was a good collection of ROMs and hacks and tweaks and the developer support, essentially, because this phone is so expensive, not all developers could afford it and build things for it. So that's something I missed, but Xiaomi already has an established developer community who are building all sorts of stuff for these phones for years. So expect ROM videos again soon, I guess. But yeah, whenever your phone breaks down or stops working, whenever you have a problem, having a good community and a good developer support easily makes it easier to find a solution online. So that's again really clutch. So yeah, all those three things, it does better than the Pixel and for about 1/4 of the price. So why the hell should I not buy it? But yeah, while we're at it, let's just discuss the things which I did not like or have had mixed feelings about coming from the Pixel. And of course, you might have guessed it, it's the camera and MIUI. The camera isn't bad for the price, that's what I would say. The sharpness is great, but it has a weird color profile which exaggerates the colors. But when I'm using Gcam, it feels like it's actually outperforming the Pixel with the sharpness, but at the cost of the colors. So it looks like the colors are due to the sensor. Low light situations were the only place where I actually missed the HDR plus function from the Pixel, as there was some really bad noise grain in the photos. But so yeah, I have to use this camera more, and who knows, maybe I like it. And next, yeah, MIUI. Yeah, MIUI isn't that bad. Like, see, it's very user friendly, which I can respect, but that's about it. It's really bloated with a lot of apps and a lot of functions which I wouldn't use. I don't know, like all sorts of stuff is present there which is nice, but I really miss the clean experience of stock Android. I'm not really into the visual design language, so I had to get a custom launcher, the Poco launcher, of course, and the Pixel Pi icon pack, which was easy to set up, no big deal. But honestly, it's not that bad at all. It's not as bad as I would expect it to be. But it's just that after about 5 years of using stock Android, this does have a learning curve to it. Maybe I'll have, like, it's the first time I'm getting an experience of having a new phone, learning new things about it, and just not having everything into my reflexes. But also, yeah, ads. So of course, everyone knows that Xiaomi puts ads on these phones to make up for the hardware costs, which I can understand. But honestly, while I was setting up the phone itself, I just toggled off all the suggestions and user experience program, whatever it was, and also the Mi Scan app, which I turned off also. And that's basically the only place where you can see any sort of ads or app suggestions. So yeah, I don't see ads at all. Sometimes through the notification tray, maybe promoting some sponsored content, but not really intrusive ads as such. So I don't see, maybe I have to use it more. It's been just 3 days since I used it. And lastly, the performance. Performance is basically similar, if not better, than the Pixel, which is also a dated phone, but still it's really smooth. I haven't seen any like lags with it, but it's not as fast as the OnePlus 6 or 7, which is to be expected. But for a Snapdragon 675, this is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. But also, this is the 4GB RAM variant with 64 gigs of storage, so it should be good for everyone else, not for gamers, but I don't play games anyway, so can't say about that. Yeah, so yeah, those were my last couple of days with the Redmi Note 7 Pro, and that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to make more videos about it, and this wasn't a review. This was just my first impressions and things I noticed after switching from a Pixel. Full review might be in the works, along with other videos like the Mi A2, and also maybe I'll do a camera comparison with Gcam, the Pixel, and the native 48 megapixel camera. So yeah, stay subscribed for that. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.